Video pros called to order today, Thursday, February 15th, 8:44 a.m. My name is Brennan Kelsey, along with me, Ms. Cheryl Knox, Ms. Bonnie Jackson. Staff is support is seated at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. Our remote location is Hunt. With staff and support at Hunt, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Donnie Barlow, Water.
Christy LeBlanc, classification.
Joe Buttress, Assistant Warden.
William Edwards.
They will give you a-
Ready for our first case, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
DOC number,
Name and DOC number.
William Edwards. DOC number 752472.
All right, you heard the introduction. We'll have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process? You understand the process we're going to go through?
Yes, sir.
We have Jonathan Tyra and still get Tyra that will speak at the appropriate time. William Edwards, DOC number 752472, first class offender. Parole eligibility date 1/9/2023, not eligible for good time. Full term 9/10/2029. 10-year sentence, molestation of a juvenile. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Please answer, Ms. Jackson.
Good morning, Mr. Edwards. How are you doing today?
Doing fine.
You have trouble hearing? Are you having any trouble hearing me?
Are you having trouble hearing her?
Yes, ma'am. I do have trouble hearing.
All right, so so you're hard of hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll try to speak up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, Mr. Edwards?
I'm 76.
All right. And how long have you served on this 10-year sentence? How much time have you served?
3.4 years.
3.4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I don't want to get too much into the details of the crime itself, but do you admit that you molested your granddaughter?
I wouldn't call it molesting. I mishandled them. I didn't.
Okay. When you say mishandle, what do you mean by that, Mr. Edwards?
Appropriate touching in areas I shouldn't be touching them.
Well, what do you think molestation is?
And I don't understand all things, ma'am.
But you do understand that it was wrong for you to touch your granddaughter in a sexual way.
Yes, ma'am.
You did touch her in a sexual way, is that right?
Ma'am.
And you touched her in a sexual way.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that you only taken one phase of the sex offender program. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why haven't you taken the other phases?
Somebody told me it wouldn't help me, it wouldn't do no good, and I didn't take them. I misunderstood what I was supposed to do.
Who told you you didn't need to take it because it wouldn't do you any good?
It really wouldn't give me no good time, and it wouldn't help me, so I didn't bother with it. I didn't know I had to have it.
All right, Mr. Edwards, so the only reason you were interested in taking it is to get good time. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Well, why didn't you take it?
I have got a disability problem reading and spelling, and I didn't think I could pass it anyway.
Well, Mr. Edwards, you know, when you got arrested for this crime and you talked to the police, You admitted that you had touched your granddaughter inappropriately. And you also said, to your words, I'm not, that you were sick and you needed help. And you've been in a place for almost 3.5 years where you could have gotten some help, but you chose not to do it because you wouldn't get good time for it. So that
No,
sounds to me like you didn't want to get help.
Yes, ma'am, I want help. I'm not turning help down, I need it.
Well, what kind of help they were, sex offender treatment is help, Mr. Edwards, and you didn't take it. You only took one phase.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea at all how your actions have harmed your granddaughter?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you think she's been harmed?
Hurt her feelings, messed her life up, did things I shouldn't have did. Hurt them.
Also, you and your wife have a home on the same tract of property where your grandchildren live. Is that correct?
It's not the same tract, it's a different 5-acre tract, it belonged to her daddy. It's not on my 5-acre tract. It joins it though.
But it's less than 3 miles from her house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if you're released, Mr. Edwards, you cannot live within 3 miles of the victim. So you don't have anywhere to go. Where would you go?
I'll come up with something.
Warren, what can you tell us about Mr. Edwards, if you have any information about him?
Not a whole lot, Ms. Bonnie. He just came to us not too long ago. We did have a conversation about sex offender treatment. I believe he needs sex offender treatment. I'd like to see him take victim impact. He has agreed to take it. So we're gonna enroll him if he wishes to participate.
All right. All right. All right, Ms. Kelsey, that's the question.
All right, we hear from Mr. Jonathan Tyra now. Make a brief statement, sir.
Hey, this is their father. It's 2 daughters that he molested. And for him to sit there and say that he inappropriately touched them, inserting your fingers in a little kid's vagina and anus is not, touching them inappropriately. Having a kid, masturbate you is not inappropriate touching, and trying to have sex with them is not inappropriate touching. I don't know. They told me that I couldn't say nothing to him. So
All
I
right,
tried
yes,
briefly.
speak to us.
It's hard not to say nothing about that monster, but he has destroyed my girls. One has already tried to commit suicide. My other girl is she's not there no more. He destroyed us. He scarred my girls, and 3 years ain't enough for that man. I wish he couldn't see the light of day anymore.
Yes, sir. All right.
He has no
Thank-
remorse.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what about this? Would Miss Sylvia like to speak or not?
Do you want to say something?
That's my father. And I miss him terribly, but it's just been so hard. And my girls are just not the same anymore. And we can't even leave the house without them, without feeling they're gonna hurt themselves. And I don't know if they'll ever be the same. And we're not ready for him to get out.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your comment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, William, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Would you like me to say that?
No, sir.
You like those statements? Okay, now fair to vote?
Yeah.
Jackson?
Mr. Edwards, I'm concerned about you on a number of different levels. One, you don't seem to have an awareness of the harm you caused to your granddaughter and the rest of your family. You haven't completed sex offender treatment. You haven't completed victim awareness. And quite frankly, you don't have any place to live. You cannot go back to the house wife lived because of the distance it is to the victim. I just don't think you're ready today, Mr. Edwards. I'm going to encourage you to get with the prison staff, get your sex offender treatment completed, get victim awareness completed, and also come up with a residence plan because you cannot return to your former residence. But my vote today is to deny and to encourage you to do what you need to do to be in a situation where you can be removed, but not today, so.
All right, Ms. Renata.
Mr. Edwards, my vote today also is to deny based on the law enforcement opposition, the victim opposition, and the need for sex offender treatment along with other programs.
My vote is to deny for the same reasons as stated. 3 votes to deny. Today, your parole's been denied. Good luck to you. We'll adjourn at 8:56. Thank you, guys.